There are moments in life when we realize that wealth is not just a measure of money, it's a vibration, a current of energy flowing through everything we do, think, and feel. Building wealth through mastermind energy begins with this profound idea that every great fortune, every bold vision, and every lasting legacy begins not with a dollar, but with a thought charged with emotion, purpose, and unity. The author invites us to understand that wealth is not built in isolation. Just as no tree grows alone in a forest, no individual reaches greatness without being connected to others. This connection, the blending of minds, spirits, and intentions, is what the author calls mastermind energy. It is the invisible field that forms when people unite under a common vision. The book teaches that when two or more minds come together with harmony, trust, and a shared purpose, they create a third, greater mind, one capable of miracles. At first glance, the idea seems mystical. But the author grounds it in practical reality. Imagine, they say, two people working on a dream. One brings creativity, the other brings strategy. Alone, each has limits. Together, their ideas feed off each other, creating breakthroughs that neither could reach alone. This is the power that Napoleon Hill first called the mastermind principle, but this book takes it deeper, into the realm of energy, consciousness, and spiritual resonance. We are reminded that energy follows attention. The moment you focus your mind on wealth, not just material wealth but wealth in love, health, and meaning, you begin to send signals to the universe. But the signal becomes exponentially stronger when others join your frequency. When you surround yourself with people who believe in abundance, who encourage you instead of doubting you, your own vibration rises. You start to believe more deeply, act more boldly, and see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. The book shares the story of a young entrepreneur named Elias, who once lived in quiet frustration. He had big dreams but no results. He worked tirelessly, but his energy was heavy with fear and self-doubt. Everything began to change when he joined a small mastermind circle, 5 people who met every week to share goals, challenges, and ideas. In that space, he found not only advice but energy, a collective force that seemed to lift him higher. Within months, his business expanded, but more importantly, so did his sense of purpose. Elias didn't just build wealth, he became wealth. His energy began to attract new clients, mentors, and even friends who aligned with his vibration. The book uses Elias's transformation to show us a universal truth: wealth flows to those who align their inner energy with their outer goals. You cannot build abundance from a place of fear, jealousy, or scarcity. These emotions block energy flow. Instead, the author teaches that gratitude, generosity, and clarity act as energetic magnets. When your thoughts and emotions align with the frequency of abundance, the universe responds, often in unexpected ways. But the journey is not without its tests. The author explores the subtle traps that weaken our mastermind energy: ego, competition, and mistrust. In any group of dreamers, there will be moments of tension. Someone wants to lead, someone feels unheard, someone's vision clashes with another's. The author explains that maintaining the purity of the mastermind requires humility, a willingness to listen deeply, to learn, and to see others as extensions of the same divine intelligence. When the group energy stays clean, creativity flows like electricity through clear wires. One of the most striking insights in the book is that wealth is a spiritual responsibility. The author warns that money gained without awareness often brings chaos. True wealth, the kind that sustains, must be built on harmony, service, and integrity. When your wealth contributes to others' growth, it multiplies naturally. The energy of giving opens pathways for receiving. As one passage beautifully puts it, greater than, when you hold abundance with open hands, the universe keeps them full. When you clutch it with fear, it slips through your fingers like sand. The book also highlights the importance of visualization, not as a fantasy, but as a sacred act of creation. The author suggests that our minds are projectors, and the universe is the screen. Every image we hold, especially when charged with emotion, begins to materialize in subtle ways. In a mastermind, visualization becomes even more powerful. When multiple people hold the same vision, say, building a conscious business or healing a community, the combined energy accelerates manifestation. Reality starts to bend in favor of that shared belief. Throughout the pages, the author intertwines spiritual wisdom with scientific ideas. They draw parallels with quantum physics, how particles react to observation, how energy responds to intention. Just as an atom's behavior changes when observed, so does life change when focused upon with clarity and conviction. In essence, the book teaches that the universe is participatory, it listens to your vibration more than your words. There is a beautiful metaphor in the middle chapters, the garden of the mind. The author explains that every thought is a seed. Negative thoughts, fear, envy, resentment, grow weeds. Positive thoughts, love, courage, faith, grow fruit. But the garden flourishes only when you tend to it with others who care for it too. Mastermind energy is like a collective garden. The more people watering it with love, the richer the harvest becomes. In another poignant example, the book describes a group of teachers in a struggling community who began meeting weekly to visualize their school thriving. They focused on abundance, resources, joyful students, inspired learning. Within a year, funding appeared, volunteers joined, and the school transformed. Was it magic? Perhaps. But more likely, it was alignment. Their energy shifted from despair to vision, and the outer world mirrored that shift. The author repeatedly reminds us that wealth is not selfish. It is expansive. The more wealth-conscious people exist in a community, the higher the collective vibration becomes. Poverty, the author writes, is often a symptom of disconnection, from self, from purpose, and from the greater field of possibility. When we re-establish that connection, through mastermind energy, we begin to dissolve scarcity itself. As the book moves toward its conclusion, it challenges the reader to look inward. Are you surrounding yourself with people who uplift or drain your energy? Are your goals inspired by ego or by service? Are your thoughts aligned with what you truly want to manifest? It's a mirror, not just for your finances, but for your soul. The final chapters guide us through the practice of energy calibration, a daily routine to align yourself with abundance. It involves 3 steps: stillness, gratitude, and projection. First, stillness, silence your mind to become aware of your energetic baseline. Second, gratitude, acknowledge what already flows in your life. Gratitude expands energy instantly. Third, projection, send your vision outward with confidence, as though it's already real. Then, the author says, share this practice with others. The mastermind is not merely a group, it is a living organism of shared intention. When practiced consistently, it builds an energetic fortress around your dreams. In the final pages, the author leaves us with a profound truth. Greater than, you are not a seeker of wealth. You are the source of wealth itself. The river of abundance flows through your consciousness. When you gather with others who know this truth, you become the ocean. The wisdom of building wealth through mastermind energy lies in its invitation to see wealth not as something to chase, but as something to become. It reminds us that success is not a solo journey, it's a symphony. When minds harmonize, energy multiplies, and the impossible becomes inevitable. Ultimately, the book is less about money and more about mastery, mastering your thoughts, emotions, and connections. It teaches that wealth is a reflection of who you are becoming. When you cultivate faith, purpose, and unity, you awaken the mastermind within you. And that, the author assures us, is where true prosperity begins. Not in the bank, but in the boundless energy of a heart aligned with vision.